Tesla just killed two of its most iconic cars. And it's not because they weren't selling, it's because Elon Musk needs the factory space for something else. Something that's never been done before at this scale. The Model S and Model X are being shut down completely, not redesigned, not moved, ended, and in their place. Tesla is building a production line capable of manufacturing 1 million humanoid robots per year. 1 million, that's not a pilot program. That's not a research project. That's an industrial bet so large it borders on reckless. Because here's what most people don't realize: Optimus isn't just another product for Tesla. It's the product, the one Musk believes will define the company's next decade. Maybe longer, but there's a problem. Actually, several problems. And the deeper you look, the stranger this whole thing gets. Let's start with the price. Musk has said, multiple times, that Optimus will cost somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000. That's the dream. A robot cheaper than a car, capable of doing household chores, manual labor, maybe even providing companionship. And he's claimed Tesla can manufacture it for around $10,000, which sounds incredible. Until you remember one undeniable truth: Elon Musk has never been particularly good at keeping his promises when it comes to pricing. The Cybertruck was supposed to start at $40,000. It didn't. The Roadster was supposed to launch years ago. It hasn't. Full self-driving was supposed to be feature complete by 2017. We're still waiting. So, when Musk confidently announces a $10,000 manufacturing cost for a product that doesn't even exist yet, you have to ask, is that real? Or is that marketing? Because if Tesla can't hit that number, the entire business model collapses. A $30,000 humanoid robot isn't a mass-market product. It's a luxury novelty. And Tesla just bet the future of 2 entire car models on this dot. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but Tesla's good at manufacturing. They've scaled electric vehicles faster than anyone thought possible. Why would a robot be different? That's the thing. It is different. According to Musk himself, almost everything inside Optimus is new. The motors, the gearboxes, the sensors, the control systems. For a car, Tesla can lean on decades of automotive supply chains. Batteries, chips, aluminum frames, these things exist at scale. There are suppliers. There are alternatives for There's nothing. Tesla is building the supply chain from scratch, and that means production won't scale at the speed Tesla wants. It'll scale at the speed of the slowest, most constrained component. Which brings us to a very specific problem: rare earth magnets. Optimus needs them, specifically for the motors in its hands and arms, and the world's supply of rare earth elements is concentrated in one place. China.Tesla has been in talks with Chinese authorities to secure licenses for these materials, and so far, the discussions seem fine. China's main concern, according to Musk, is military use, which doesn't apply here. But think about what that means. Tesla's ability to produce 1 million robots per year is now dependent on maintaining good relations with a foreign government, one that has, in the past, restricted exports of these exact materials. One trade dispute, one policy shift, one diplomatic incident, and suddenly the Optimus production line grinds to a halt. This isn't a hypothetical risk. It's a structural dependency baked into the product itself. But let's say Tesla solves that. Let's say the magnets keep flowing, the supply chain stabilizes, and production ramps smoothly. There's still another question. What is this thing actually supposed to do? Because the way Tesla talks about Optimus has changed. In the beginning, it was framed as a factory robot, something to automate repetitive tasks inside Tesla's own facilities. That made sense. Tesla could use thousands of them internally, refine the design, and eventually sell to other manufacturers. But now Musk is talking about Optimus learning by watching videos, about customizable voices and personalities, about it being able to help with homework, tell stories, provide companionship. This isn't a factory robot anymore. This is something designed to live in your home, and that introduces an entirely different set of challenges. Let's talk about Gen 3 for a second. That's the version Tesla plans to reveal soon. The one that's supposed to go into production by the end of this year. It's expected to have 22 degrees of freedom in its hands. That's double what Gen 2.5 had. For context, that level of dexterity would allow the robot to thread a needle, play a musical instrument, handle fragile objects with precision. It'll have voice communication, not just responding to commands, but holding conversations, learning preferences, adapting its tone. It'll have a next-generation AI chip, possibly delivering 10 times the computational power of earlier versions, and it'll be able to learn new tasks just by watching humans perform them. All of this sounds incredible. It also sounds impossibly complex, because here's the thing. Tesla hasn't really explained yet. How do you mass-produce something like that? Cars are hard to build, but they're modular. You can test subsystems independently. You can simulate performance. You can validate designs without building the whole car. Humanoid robots. Not so much a tiny change in joint geometry affects balance. A shift in actuator placement changes how cables route through the body. A new sensor requires recalibration across the entire system. Everything is connected, and that means you can't truly test it until it's fully assembled, which is why Tesla chose Fremont. Not because it's the biggest factory, not because it's the newest, but because it's dense, experienced, fast. Fremont is where Tesla concentrates its most skilled workers, its most mature automation systems, its deepest culture of iteration. If you're going to build something as complex as a humanoid robot, you need a tight feedback loop. Design, build, test, redesign, over and over. And you need that loop to be fast. Texas is bigger. Berlin is newer. Shanghai is more automated, but none of them have Fremont's density of expertise. So Tesla is building the first Optimus production line there, even if it means killing the Model S and Model X to make space. And that decision, more than anything else, tells you how serious this is. The Model S was Tesla's first real car, the one that proved electric vehicles could be desirable, not just practical. The Model X was the ambitious follow-up. Falcon wing doors, 7 seats. A statement car. Together, they represent Tesla's legacy, the foundation of everything that came after. And now they're being erased. Not because they failed, but because Tesla needs the space for something it believes is bigger. The city of Fremont released a statement emphasizing that vehicle production isn't ending. Model 3 and Model Y will continue. But the message was clear. This isn't just a new product line. It's a pivot. Tesla is becoming a robotics company that also makes cars, not the other way around. Musk has said that Optimus could eventually have a significant impact on U.S. GDP. That's a bold claim, bold enough that most people dismissed it as hype. But think about what he's actually saying. If Optimus works, if it can truly learn tasks by watching, if it can operate for 12 hours on a single charge, if it can be deployed at scale for $20,000, then yeah, it would reshape entire industries: manufacturing, logistics, caregiving, hospitality, agriculture. Any sector that relies on manual labor would fundamentally change. But here's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. Musk isn't saying this will happen. He's saying it could happen. And the gap between those two things is enormous. Because right now, Optimus is still in pilot production. Tesla showed a glimpse of the assembly line in its Q1 shareholder update. It looked early. Musk himself said production is in a developmental phase, that thousands of units might be working inside Tesla factories by the end of the year. Maybe not. Millions, thousands, and even that feels ambitious given everything we know about the supply chain constraints, the manufacturing complexity, the fact that nearly every component is custom-built. So when Tesla says it plans to hit 1 million units per year within 4 to 5 years, you have to wonder, is that a goal? Or is that a promise they can't keep? Here's what we know for sure. Tesla is restructuring its most experienced factory to build humanoid robots. It's negotiating with foreign governments for critical materials. It's designing a product so complex that even Musk admits production will be bottlenecked by the slowest component, and it's doing all of this while discontinuing 2 of its most iconic vehicles. That's not cautious. That's not iterative. That's all-in, which raises one final question. What happens if this doesn't work? Not if Optimus is a bad product, but if it's a good product that just can't scale fast enough, if demand outpaces supply by years, if the price ends up higher than promised, if the learning systems don't generalize as expected, what happens to Tesla then? Because right now, the company's market valuation isn't built on car sales. It's built on the belief that Tesla is more than a car company, that it's an AI company, a robotics company, an energy company. And Optimus is the proof. If it works, Musk looks like a visionary. If it doesn't, Tesla looks like a car company that got distracted. The Model S and Model X are gone. The factory space is committed. The production line is being built. There's no going back. And maybe that's the point. Maybe Musk knows that if you don't burn the boats, you'll never really commit to the shore. Or maybe this is just what happens when a company